What's going on, everyone? We're going to cover some Toshi price action here on the charts. We're going to talk about the chart. We're going to talk about how much lower we could potentially be going. We're going to go over some price targets. We're going to go over a potential timeline. Now, let's kind of rewind the tape a little bit and let's talk about what's happened in the past 48 hours. So, we had some messages come out from Trump about a crypto reserve, this, that, and the other. Things like Solana, things like XRP, Cardano, and obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum going into that crypto reserve. That sent the markets literally from Bitcoin 79, 80,000 all the way up over 90,000, 91, 92, 93. And it looked like that was going to be the bottom, and everything's going to be great. And then today it kind of sold back off. So we haven't sold off on Bitcoin back down below that 79, 78,000. However, we're in the low 80,000s and we've given a lot back, about 8%, 7 to 8% back of that pump from yesterday. Now, what I'm seeing across social media is a lot of people coming in with extreme, levels of fear around the Toshi project and around other meme coins as well. So when I speak in terms of meme coins, even though that my bags are inside of Toshi and it's one of the projects that I'm following for 2025, does not mean that I'm not kind of following the narratives on what's going on outside in other altcoins and AI coins and gaming coins and other meme coins. The narrative's kind of the same in each community. It's kind of like, why isn't things going up? If so many people are buying, if all of these, big whales are buying, why is the price being suppressed? If the news is good with crypto, this crypto plan that the administration wants to put through, why is it going down? Well, you have to understand that these bull runs are in phases, they're in cycles, and there's a point in time where you get into these almost trap phases where it looks like the market's ready to break out and everything looks great, and then they pull you back and they drag you through the mud, and they drag you through the mud some more and some more. And it's stretching your patience and it's stretching your emotions completely thin to get you out of your positions and sell, so bigger whales can step in at those lower prices. And it's whenever they feel like it, right? And who they is, we don't necessarily really know. Okay. It's just whenever they feel like it, whenever the market does turn around. And again, you have to keep this in mind. There's a lot of things going on outside of your crypto meme coin. Okay. We've got tariffs going on, 25% on Canada, and Canada trying to clap back. We've got an ongoing war with Ukraine and Russia, and now Zelensky and Donald Trump not seeing eye to eye on things. You have NATO stepping in and getting involved, saying, things that they're saying. It's a lot of things to digest across the world and bringing a lot of uncertainty to not only the crypto markets, not only your Toshi meme coin, but the overall markets in general. The S&P 500 is down. The NASDAQ 100 is, absolutely fallen off a cliff. It's everything right now. However, when this market turns around, you are going to be the person that was in so much pain down here and so just impatient about holding because you're constantly looking at your portfolio. You're constantly looking at the P&L and the negative percentage that you're down, that you will be the person that's buying back up here or up here or up here or up here or up here. Whether it takes 1 month, whether it takes 3 months, or whether it takes 6 months, you will be the person that is buying all the way up here because you are in fear of missing out of the beautiful positions that you guys had in this range. Now, I understand it. Again, I get it. My portfolio is down around 30% across the board. That's a pretty big hit to take and a pretty big hit to kind of look at on a day in and day out basis. It can get very emotional. It can get very frustrating. It can get very stressful. The best thing that I would recommend, if you are all out of funds, meaning you are not going to continue to dollar cost average in, you need to get outside and go touch grass. You need to come back in a week. And maybe instead of checking the portfolio and checking the price on things like Toshi or your other coins that you're holding every single day or every single hour, maybe check it once a week. you're going to feel the narrative and the sentiment online on social media. 99% of you people are on social media scrolling through content every single day anyways. When the market starts to really turn around and the absolute lows are put in and we're actually on this bull upwards trajectory, you will hear about it and you will feel it, and it will be a different feeling on social media. And then you can start kind of monitoring your portfolio. If you're going to continue to dollar cost average in, I've been making these videos about once a week because I don't want to completely overload the Toshi community on price action that's, you know, pretty stagnant. Like, we're pretty much not doing anything at this point in time if there's nothing significant going on. But I've been saying for the better half of 2 to 3 weeks that this was your DCA zone, depending on where you bought Toshi. Like, if you bought Toshi here or here or here or here, anything in this box between these lines was your dollar cost average zone. I've also made about 3 or 4 videos calling this the steal zone, because this is the steal zone. Basically, you are getting Toshi at a price of around $187 million market cap. You are getting in on Toshi around the same levels of when we started to pump from the Coinbase listing. And if this pump here was about a 10x return, then just getting back up into this range is another 10x return. Now, clearly, if your dollar cost average price is way up here, it's not going to be a 10x return for you. But if you are smart about the way you play this and you have been dollar cost averaging here, or you've loaded a little bit more in the steal zone, it might be somewhat of a 6 to 9x return on your money. Okay, let's be a little bit more modest. Let's say a 4 to 7x return on your money from right here where we stand. So again, 1,000 in, anywhere between $4,000 to $7,000 out, just at these all-time highs. And I do not believe that's where we are going to stop. I believe we're going to stop much higher than that, and probably be closer to a 10 to 20x from here, bare minimum. That's my opinion, and that's what my conviction is, and that's what I will hold true to. So with that being said, where are we at now? Well, where we're at now, we can obviously continue to go lower, right? I don't want to be the type of person who's going to sit here and say, guys, the absolute low is in, we're going up from here, and we're only going up for here, because again, anything is possible. We can definitely still continue to go down lower. One thing that I'm looking at here in terms of a level that I can see us, kind of trickling down to, is going to be right here. Okay, so if I was to draw this line from this top to this top and drag this across, you're going to see we're right here right now. Now, whether we touch it exactly or we quickly sweep it and then reclaim it, I think that that's probably going to be somewhere near 90% of this low. Okay, and the reason being, this is long before the listing on Coinbase. Okay, so long before the listing on Coinbase, you can see we put in a high here, we came back down, we put in a high here, and we had a double top. And then we kind of sold off, and we've created this floor, which I'm running my fibs from. And then once we got that Coinbase listing, we broke through that prior resistance, pulled all the way back, tested it, and then finally broke through. We're back to that same initial area. And that initial area is right here in the mid 4s all the way down to high 3s. Again, if you are looking for the absolute steal zone, it's probably going to be in the 3s, but anywhere between 3 and 5 is the steal zone. So you can definitely dollar cost average between 3 and 5. Now, the reason being, I think we might go a little bit lower than this 4 and get into the 3s is because that would create a bigger chain reaction, meaning we've actually successfully back tested this double top, which is the start of, and even before we were on Coinbase, we've actually swept that area, tested for buyers, and I think you're going to get such a mass inflow of people trying to get into the project down below this area. It's going to create a very quick reaction to where it dips down below and then immediately kind of pulls back up into that range over 4.5 into 6. And I think there'll be one more pullback that needs to hold a higher low. And from there, I think it can definitely start reaching into those 7, 8, 9, and 10s extremely quickly. And when I say extremely quickly, this could be something that happens over a day to 2-day period. That's how fast I think that it can move once the bottom is actually in. But what are we really waiting for is we're really waiting for Bitcoin to stop pulling back and to actually hold this 90 to 93k, 96k, and start making its way back up over 100,000. I think that if we can get Bitcoin back up over 100,000 into 105,000, I think that the lows on a lot of your meme coins and altcoins is going to be in. So let's say, for example, we do pull back and then we kind of do one of these movements, and Bitcoin at this price is trading, let's say 96, 98, 99, and it starts to break 100,000. And we kind of pull back during that time as it's breaking 100,000, and it starts to go up over 105, over 105k. I think you get a move like this, and it's going to be a very strong move at that. And I think it's going to be a very quick push into 10 to 12. It can actually overshoot that, and then I think the next pullback will be here. And I think that's where we'll consolidate for a little bit before it continues to rocket higher. That would be a movement that I would be looking for. Again, how long is this going to take to play out, is to be determined. My original, if you kind of go back on some of the videos I've made on Toshi, my original price prediction was middle to end of March, where I wanted to be trading up in this area. Okay. Now, depending on what happens in the next 2 to 3 weeks is going to be dependent on if we're trading, in the same spot we're at, which I do not believe, or we're trading, somewhere near the 10 to 12s. It could definitely be trading here towards the middle end of March, and then maybe we take a little slight dip into April, and then by May we have some big blow off top there, kind of going, up and beyond. That could definitely be a slower timeline of what, we could see. Again, if we are not by the end of March trading back over 6s and 7s and back over this range here, then we can have another discussion. But I'm looking to see this type of move at least for this month here. Whether we go down just a little bit lower and then we kind of springboard higher here, that could be something that I'm looking for in the month of March. Again, I will be dollar cost averaging a little bit more if we do break this double top support zone that we have here. And if we kind of get into those threes, I definitely want to get a little bit of, I want to get some tokens in the threes. So definitely something that I'm watching for. But again, guys, right now, patience is going to be your best friend. Instead of looking at the charts every single day, just kind of hang back, right? Just hang back, give it a few days, give it a week. You're not going to, what's not going to happen. And I can assure you this, what's not going to happen is if you get off of the screens and you stop checking your portfolio for a day or two, what's not going to happen is this. Okay, that's not going to happen. Like if you go to sleep today and you wake up tomorrow and you don't check your portfolio, you're not going to break all-time highs tomorrow and then, God forbid, it comes all the way back down to zero the next day. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a slower move, guys. And when I mean slow, I don't mean that it's going to take years and years and years to happen. What I mean slow is there's certain areas that need to get broken. So like we need to come up here and then we need to back test and we need to consolidate and you need to, start pushing other resistance levels and you need to come back and consolidate and you need to do this. Now, even something like this, that can take a span of a month. That can take a span of 2 months. That can take a span of a week. But this is not going to happen in one day, right? Now, again, if you look, even when we had the Coinbase listing, here's all of the buzz and all of the news. Here's the breakout 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and then we're all the way back down on 4, 5, 6, and 7. So even if this was 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and then, again, that's how long it took. So, but getting off of the charts for a day or two at a time and just kind of checking your portfolio on a more casual basis than on a more, minute by minute hourly basis is probably going to suit your emotions a little bit better, because right now, technically we're not doing anything, and we're not doing anything until, Bitcoin really starts to reclaim about 96,000 and it needs to get over 100,000. And that mark of the low probably being in is probably going to be when Bitcoin breaks about 105,000. That's going to be the low. And I expect Bitcoin to start running to 135, 150, and 175 in this last cycle, or, in the last half of this cycle. So With that being said, be patient. We're at another level of support here. We have to see if this is going to continue to hold. Again, what's my opinion? I think we do dip below, and then I think there's an immediate reaction back up into that range, back over. And then I think there's one more pullback that holds a higher low, and then we start to go. Timeline, let's give it a week. Let's see if that happens within inside 1 week. We'll give it 5 to 7 days, and I'll do an update in about 3 to 5 days to see if that's actually starting to play out here. Now, again, anything can happen. Trump can come out and say something completely bullish for the market, and we do one of these quick moves like that, right? And we could definitely do that. That would be a better breakout for us, and that would be a faster breakout in terms of timeline, but we'll have to see. So with that being said, guys, just be patient. I'm still very bullish. The market is still very bullish. We're still in bullish context. You know, these pullbacks is nothing that you need to be concerned about. It's just taking time. It's taking time. But again, impatience is what is making it feel like it's taking forever. I know that when I made my first Toshi video, my narrative was the same. Middle to end of March, I will be looking for Toshi to be trading back upwards towards the all-time highs. I will be looking for it in that range. That's what I am looking for towards the middle end of March. Whoops, where's my drawing tool at? So here it is. So the middle end of March, I would be looking for it to kind of be doing something like that within the next 3 to 4 weeks. And again, in April, maybe look for one more small pullback, something like that. And then maybe May, you get that blow off top. That's what I would be looking for. Again, that doesn't mean that the cycle is over in May, but I'm saying that that's when I would look to be trading back towards those all-time highs. Now, obviously, if it happens sooner, great. That's fantastic. But I still have the same timeline between March, April, May. I want to be in this vicinity. Okay, so we still have time. And again, I do think that there will be one, consolidation period through the months of July, August. And, where you can see maybe if you do get these run-ups through all-time highs, you can see that pullback that looks like it's going to fade and do what it did here. And then instead of coming all the way back down, it just kind of does something like this in the middle of the range until the end of the year. And then normally you get like one more bigger blow off, and that's it. And if that doesn't happen, then that's because this move here was so significant that, we 10, 15, or not 10, we 20, 30, 40x from here. So again, I'm still bullish. I still think that in this cycle, Toshi gets anywhere between a $4 to $6 billion market cap on the conservative side of things. And if things absolutely go, self crazy, like it just goes, it just goes absolutely insane, I could see something of about a 12 to $20 billion market cap, somewhere between 8 to 12 billion on this cycle. But my modest price target would be somewhere between that mid 3, 4 to $6 billion market cap with a full confidence that it can achieve a 10 to $12 billion market cap in this cycle. So again, with that being said, be patient, continue to dollar cost average in if you can. And until next time, guys, make sure to leave a thumbs up on the video, and I'll see all of you guys on the next one.